Hello to you again. Regular viewers may have noted a video that I uploaded a little while ago concerning Anderssen's opening, and I played an unusual line. I thought I'd give a little bit of analysis because there's a variation on which I didn't touch in that game. So let's just take a look at this. Anderssen's opening, as you will know, is A3. Now, the Morphys of this world and a lot of other players would reply either like that, E5, or D5, and you can effectively reply C4 to either of those and convert it, say, into an English opening, Riti opening, or Queen's Gambit. Of course, there's nothing to stop you playing the Sokolsky as well, as I essayed in my previous game, and that, of course, is the way that this game went. Black played here in the vain hope that you wouldn't play that, because then he would play to there, and of course he's at once attacking the rook. So what you do here, this is the novelty, rook a2. Black plays d6 with the idea of getting his bishop here to e6 and attacking the rook. So we anticipate that by playing d4, and if he does play bishop e6, then we can play d5. So what he does, he makes a King's Indian defense out of it, which is fair enough. I think you'd agree. There's no problem at all with that. So what we do is we march on and create a phalanx of pawns there. He castles, and he has the typical King's Indian defense. Now, in this position, white is to make his sixth move. Now, you can avoid all of this simply by playing f3 at this stage, and it stops any notion of the knight coming into here or to here, or the bishop to f5, because you'd immediately press on with either e4 or g4, there or there. However, in the game, I played here, and my opponent, of course, played knight on b to d7, which is fair enough, and then I played f3. So what we're going to do here quickly is just to go through a line that, in fact, three lines that many of you may have spotted. What happens after this? Instead of knight on b to d7, he gets the bishop out, and he's hitting this knight here. Well, all we need to do there is to play that, and white is perfectly safe, for the simple reason that should the knight come in here, we can just capture it. Bishop takes f3, e4, and it's quite a nice development for white. That's not a problem. So bishop f5 immediately isn't an issue. What about this though? That attacks the rook. So how would I have responded? Well, I'd have responded like that. And of course, black now would play bishop f5, thinking, oh, I'll move the knight and then the rook is under attack. It is. The problem for black, though, is when white plays here, black realizes that he has to go back, because if he moves that knight anywhere else, it's going to be captured, and white will win two minor pieces for the rook, which is no good. So you go here, and then you play here. Now, if this bishop retreats, white has a considerable advantage. The only opportunity for black in this position is to sacrifice a piece for two pawns. Let's take a good look at that board. So we take the knight back. And what does he do? Well, of course, he follows through with this. And like I say, he has two pawns for his piece. Now you see, we have to watch out for this. So we simply play this to there, covering the knight. Now then, what does black do in this position? Well, what he does is he plays here, because he's eyeing over the possibility of the queen coming down and giving check. That can cause problems. What you do is you play knight f3, and that snuffs it out quite simply. No problem at all. What he would undoubtedly do is he'd take this pawn, because what he's done then is he's recovered 3 points. He has 3 pawns for his knight, which is pretty much even. What we do in this situation now is we play bishop d3, and we block that pawn from going any further, and everything is absolutely covered. And if you look at that position, white is planning on castling. Of course, he could take here, take back, queen check, g3. It would be distinctly advantageous to white. I think it is an advantageous position as things stand. If he were to try something like this, just take a look at that, thinking that he might come here and pin the rook, all that we need to do is to play here, and he's driven back even further. So none of that really is of any good. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the original position, and we'll check it out afresh. Let's just get all of this back. That's the position after 6, rook to d2. And we've tried knight bd7 in that game that I won. We've tried bishop f5 and we've tried knight e4. In the game, this was played, but not as quickly as this. And I did mention that. How would I have responded to that if he'd played that in the game? What he's doing, though, is playing out of spirit with the fianchetto there on the king side. He needs his bishop on g7, really. We play here, which blocks him. Now, should he come in here like this, that is not a problem because we can go here. And then, of course, should he bring his bishop to here, can you see what we do? Well, we just follow suit as we did before, like this. And of course, he has to take his knight back, otherwise he's going to lose 2 minor pieces for a rook. So he takes it back. And if you look at that position, can you see how white gains a significant advantage in this position? Yeah, he pushes this on, and what he's doing is he's attacking the bishop on f5, but black's bishop with venturing out to h6 is all prise. I shan't go any further into this analysis because I think that demonstrates that we have quite a powerful position. To quote the late Grandmaster Savili Tartakova from the mid-1920s, he was referencing Alekhine defense, e4, knight f6. And what he said is that white has his initiative to defend, meaning to say that the hypermodern system is very good indeed. And what black is doing here is he's overreaching himself. And that is a problem because in that position, he is in a lot of trouble. So have a good think about that. But like I say, you can proceed rook d2 with f3 and avoid all of that. But I think those variations are very interesting and well worthy of further study. Especially if you want to play a speed game, you'd be well prepared and your opponent, I don't think, would know how to handle a position like that. Good luck and goodbye for now.